guys, it's me Sandy, that vegan chick. So today I'm going to be trying out a brand new recipe for the first time. It's called Indian Coconut Butter Cauliflower. Doesn't that sound good? I'm going to show you the ingredients that we're going to need for this recipe. These are the ingredients we're going to need for this recipe. 1 large head of cauliflower, which I'm going to be cutting into florets. Fresh ginger, which we're going to be grating. 1/2 of a yellow onion. 4 garlic cloves, that's right people, 4 garlic cloves, salt and pepper, 2 1/3 cups of canned coconut milk. Now this is the full fat coconut milk, you know what I'm talking about. This recipe isn't low cal. 1 can of tomato paste, the small can. We're gonna be using some fresh cilantro later for a garnish. Some coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil. I'm using basmati rice. And for spices, we are using yellow curry, turmeric, cayenne pepper, and garam masala. And in case you're wondering what garam masala is, I probably pronounced it wrong. It is an Indian spice mix. So it's a blend of ground spices used exclusively in Indian cuisine. I did not know what it was when I saw this recipe, so that's why I'm just letting you guys know. You can buy it at your grocery store, bulk food store, wherever. Or you can make your own, but I went and bought some. So let's get started. Okay, so right now I am just cutting up the cauliflower into florets or bite-sized, more or less, pieces. And then what I'm going to be doing with it is putting it in a marinade using some of the ingredients that I mentioned earlier. And it's gonna marinate for 10 minutes. And then we're going to put it under the broiler on a cookie sheet. So I'm just gonna finish chopping this up and then we're gonna do the marinade. Okay, so now we're just gonna put the cauliflower into a large bowl. And then we are going to add some of the ingredients to marinate it, like I said, for 10 minutes. Okay, this made kind of a mess, but that's what we have the dog for. Okay, so I'm going to put in 1/3 cup of the coconut milk, and then just a bit of salt, whatever you think. 1 tablespoon of shredded, what do you call it? Grated, grated ginger, and then 2 minced cloves of garlic. And then we're gonna just let this sit. Okay, that's a knife. We're gonna just let this sit for 10 minutes. And in the meantime, we are going to preheat the broiler on high. And once this is marinated, we're going to put it under the broiler for probably 3 or 4 minutes. So while I'm waiting for the broiler to heat up and the cauliflower to finish marinating, I went ahead and made my rice. Now, I know I always talk about how much I love a rice cooker. I'm telling you, this thing is the bomb. Love a rice cooker. So what I went and did, I probably made way too much rice, but I mean, I'll use it, right? So I went ahead and I put 2 cups of basmati rice in with 1.5 cups of vegetable broth that I had left over. Now you can just use plain water, but it gives it a really nice flavor if you do happen to have some vegetable broth. So that's what I did. So that's already made. So yay for that. So we're gonna put the cauliflower in shortly and then I'm gonna make the sauce. Okay, so I'm just gonna take the marinated cauliflower and I'm putting it on a cooking sheet lined with parchment paper. And I'm just gonna spread it into an even layer. And then, like I said, I'm gonna put it under the broiler, which I have on high, for 3 to 4 minutes until you just notice the cauliflower just starting to get a little bit charred looking, like not burnt or anything. Let's pray that it doesn't burn, okay, people? This is the only cauliflower I have. So just till it gets a little bit brown. So 3 to 4 minutes. So I'm really gonna keep an eye on that. And I'm not gonna start doing the sauce until this cauliflower is done because I'm a little nervous. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so I just took the cauliflower out of the oven. I let it broil for 4.5 minutes and then I started getting scared that it was gonna burn. So I took it out. So I think we're good. Let's do the sauce. So I'm just heating up some extra virgin olive oil on the stove, about 2 tablespoons, and then I'm going to put in this chopped up half of a yellow onion, and I'm just gonna let that saute for about 5 minutes. Now, I know that you guys have always, probably if you've ever tuned in, you know that I don't like onions, but I'm slowly starting to realize that you do need onions for certain recipes because they just add that flavor that you really can't get from anything else, and you don't want your dishes to be bland. So I'm getting over my onion phobia, and hey, I'm cooking with onions. So 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you add the 2 cloves of garlic, the 2 remaining cloves of garlic. So we're just going to put that in there. And then we're gonna let that saute for another 5 minutes. And then we're gonna add the spices. And you know what? It smells so good. Okay, I have a question for you guys. This is the first time I've ever done anything with grated ginger, except for like in a smoothie. And I don't know if I'm using the wrong grater or what, but this is what was happening. Like it just was all juice, and then I used this side and it was still not right, and then this side was like obviously like too big, and then I ended up like cutting it up. So if any of you have tips on how to grate ginger, or which grater I need, is there a ginger grater out there that I'm unaware of? Please let me know. Thank you. Okay, so I forgot to say I put the ginger in there too. So that's been sauteing now for another couple minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the spices. Now I'm putting in 2 teaspoons of yellow curry. Make sure you get the yellow curry because there's another curry and it's not yellow. And I don't know, we need the yellow curry, apparently. Okay, I had to go and buy that specially today. A half a teaspoon of turmeric, which I did have. Turmeric is so good for you. It is just an amazing spice, so always try to have a little turmeric in your life. Just half a teaspoon at times, you know, of the turmeric. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, what else do we need? 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now, you can add as much as you like for how spicy you like it. I'm just gonna go with a little bit of a heaping teaspoon because I like spicy. So we're gonna go with that. And then what was the other thing I needed? Oh yeah, this stuff. The garam masala, which I have never used. So this is, and I'm probably not even saying it right. We're gonna use 1 tablespoon of that. So I guess this is what's gonna really make it have that Indian flavored spice to this dish, which, let's just be careful here with the garam masala. I think that's probably good. Okay, so we're gonna put that in. Oh yeah, it smells so good. That smells delicious. And now we are gonna go ahead. Was I supposed to put pepper in there? Can't remember. Let's throw some in just in case. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and put in the coconut milk. So there was the 2 cups of coconut milk. Gonna put that in, and the tomato paste. So that was just 1 small can of tomato paste. Now, regarding the measurements for the coconut milk, I have 2 cans of it, and I didn't quite use the whole 2 cans for 2 1/3 cups, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna see how thick or not thick this is, and I might add some more of the coconut milk since I have some still left over. It was 400 milliliter can, so you do the math, people, because I can't. So now I'm just waiting for the sauce to come to a boil, and it's gonna cook like that for about 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna add in the 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and let that cook for a little bit. And then I'm gonna put in the cauliflower. It's a boiling. Okay, so I'm gonna put in the 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and give it a stir and turn it down. You guys, this smells amazing. So what I'm gonna do now is just add the cauliflower to the sauce, and I'm gonna stir that in and really delicately here with my hands. And then I'm gonna let it cook for about another 5 minutes. And then, dun, 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 it will be ready to put over top of the rice. And I think it's gonna be amazing. I really, really do. I'll just give you a quick little, ooh, maybe I won't, quick little peek there. Don't know if you can tell. Okay, let's not have it on the floor, shall we? We want it over a bed of rice, not on a hardwood floor. Okay, seriously guys, how good does this look? Now I just added the cilantro just kind of on top. You can mix it in with the entire dish, but I just thought I'll just throw a little bit on top because I didn't know how much I would want. And I found these naan bread dippers. They're just like little mini naan breads because they were the only ones that I could find that were vegan. So I am dying to try this. Let's give it a shot. Oh, and I just wanted to say before I dig in that I let my cauliflower cook in the sauce for probably about 10 to 15 minutes while I did the dishes because after 5 minutes it was still a little bit on the hard side. So just a little tip there, let it cook at least 10 to 15 minutes, I would say, in the sauce. Okay, let's give this a try. I'm dying to taste this. It is so good. It is seriously, seriously so good. This is a delicious, comforting, spicy Indian dish, and I think you guys are gonna love it. So I hope you all try this out at home. Mwah! Hey guys, so today I am going to try to make one of my favorite dishes growing up. And the reason why I say try to make is because I've never attempted to make it. I think the reason why is because I've always been a bit intimidated that it's not going to turn out and I don't really know what I'm doing. But hey, that's half the fun, and how do you know unless you try, right? So the dish I am referring to is cabbage rolls, also known where I grew up as holupshi. Now, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how we always pronounced it. And when I say holupshi, nobody knows what I'm talking about. So we'll just go with cabbage rolls for today. So the first thing that we are gonna need, and this is the part that scares me, is one big honking cabbage. Like, I mean, this cabbage is huge. You could just like lift weights with it. It's gigantic. So I'm gonna show you the rest of the ingredients that we're gonna need for these vegan inspired cabbage rolls. I just kind of made this recipe up on my own, and let's get started. So for this vegan inspired cabbage roll dish, we are going to need one huge gigantic honkin' green cabbage, one small diced onion, 2 cloves of fresh garlic. I'm using 1 cut up portobello mushroom. Now if you're using cremini mushrooms or white mushrooms, I'd say about 1.5 cups would do it, and I think it's just gonna give it a nice texture and a nice flavor. I'm also using a cup of organic strained tomatoes. You can use tomato puree or tomato sauce. I just saw this and I thought it looked really good. I'm also going to use 1 cup of lentils. Now I am cheating a little bit and using canned lentils because I was a little bit too lazy to soak my lentils, cook my lentils. If you prefer the ones in the bag, you go right ahead and do that, but I mean canned is so much easier. Just make sure that you rinse them really well. They are a great source of protein and a great source of fiber, so that is going to be key. I'm also using 1 cup of basmati rice. Oops. And I'm gonna cook it in my rice cooker. This thing is a lifesaver. And what I'm gonna cook it in is 1.5 cups of vegetable stock with a tablespoon of vegan margarine. So, while the rice is cooking, I decided to remove the core from the cabbage, which we have to do. And that was a bit challenging for me. So it's not on camera because there was a lot of swearing involved. But I did get it out, and I used 2 different knives, and then I just started cutting it into chunks. And but here we go. So what I'm doing now is I'm just waiting for some water to boil in a pot on the stove, and then I'm going to place the cabbage in face down like this, put a lid on it, and reduce it to simmer for about 10 minutes. And while that's all going on, I'm gonna saute the onions and garlic and mushrooms for the filling. Okay, so the water's boiling. It is time to put this big, gigantic cabbage in the boiling water. And then I'm going to put a lid on it and turn it to simmer for about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to saute up my onions and garlic and mushrooms. Okay, so I'm just heating up some olive oil in a pan. You can also use vegan margarine or butter if you like, but I'm just gonna go with olive oil, and I'm gonna put that 1 small diced onion in there and 2 big cloves of garlic. Now you can modify this to how much garlic and onion you like. I'm not a huge onion fan, but I'm a huge garlic fan. So I'm using 2 big cloves. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna saute the onions and garlic together in this olive oil for about 2 or 3 minutes, just to get it nice and brown, and then I'm gonna add the portobello mushrooms. So now I'm gonna add the portobello mushrooms to the onions and garlic, and then saute that for a few more minutes. And I have to tell you that it smells absolutely delicious. The rice is done, and I've just got to let that sit for 10 minutes. I'm trying to time all this in my head, and I'm getting a little mixed up, but it'll all work out in the end. It always does. Okay, so the cabbage is done, and I'm just going to remove it from the pot and place it on a tray. Here we go. Okay, I'm very nervous. Oh my gosh, this is super heavy. Okay, and it said to use 2 big, like, slotted kind of spoon things. This is all I have, so I don't even know if this is going to work. But it'll be interesting nonetheless. Oh yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so now I'm just gonna let that cool, and then we're going to remove the cabbage leaves. Yay! So while I'm waiting for that cabbage to cool, because it is like super hot, I'm going to get my rice mixture ready. So the rice is done. It's done perfectly. I'm just gonna put that in a bowl and throw in the mushrooms, onions, and garlic. And also the lentils. I should throw in probably a little salt and pepper too while I'm at it. You could probably put in any spice that you like. I'm just keeping it simple right now with salt and pepper because I'm just trying to be on the safe side here. So this is what the mixture looks like. I think I'm gonna have to wait for everything to cool down before I actually start to take the leaves off the cabbage and put the filling in. So we are gonna take a little coffee break right now. Okay, so I'm just attempting to take the cabbage leaves off of the cabbage, and in the meantime, my friend Michelle came over and gave me some tips. Thank you, Michelle, because I don't really know what I'm doing. So the thing that you have to do is you have to remove this little like stem hard part here on the cabbage. So you just slice it off like that. So I'm just gonna go on the leaves that I've taken off so far and remove this because you don't want that hard stem part to be there on your cabbage roll. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'm gonna remove the rest of the leaves, try to stuff them, and try to roll them. She told me it was hard, so I'm up for the challenge. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that once you get the hang of it, it's not as difficult to peel off the leaves as I was first expecting. Like, I did wreck a few and rip them and stuff, but once you kind of get the groove of what you're doing, they come off quite easily, see? So it just takes, you know, a little bit of practice because, like I said, I've never done this before. So, you know, by the end of this video, I'm going to be a pro. Check that out. So the next step I'm going to do, I peeled all the leaves off the cabbage. Well, not all of them. There were some around the middle and I was just like, I'm over it. So I think I've got lots. So I'm taking some of this tomato puree and I'm putting it on the bottom of, I think it's a 9 by 13 pan. And this is what I'm going to place the cabbage rolls in. So now is where the fun and the interesting part is going to be, this is why I think I've been afraid to make them, is putting in the mixture and rolling them. So let's see what happens. I just wanted to show you a close-up of the filling because to me it looks delicious. Okay, so let the fun begin. So this is where I'm going to put in the filling and roll it up and we'll see what happens. Like I said, I really have no idea what I'm doing. So yeah, let's just go with it. So I put some filling in there. I'm gonna roll it over like this and then I think roll the sides in and then keep rolling. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty shocked. This is really honestly my first one. So then I'm gonna put this in the pan, but you know what? Like it's like huge. Okay, I'm gonna need more than one pan, I'm pretty sure. Let's try another one. Maybe these are just really big cabbages, I don't know. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, what was I afraid of? This is like nothing. Nothing. Pretty darned good. Okay, so I'm gonna put these in the pan. As you can see, I'm probably gonna need another pan, obviously, because these are huge. And then we're gonna preheat the oven for 350, and I think I'm gonna cook them for like an hour. I'll let you know on that one, I'm not really sure. Okay, so I ended up rolling 14 humongous cabbage rolls. Like, I don't know, when we used to have them, they were really little. So maybe we cut the cabbage in half, I'm not sure. But this is good. I needed 2 pans, obviously. So we've got 14 humongous ones. So then what I did was I took a little bit more of the tomato, crushed tomato puree, and I mixed a little bit of the water from the cabbage. And I'm just gonna spoon that over top of the cabbage rolls. Now, this one pan here has a lid to it, so I'm gonna put the lid on it. This one doesn't, so I'm just gonna put some tin foil over top of it. And we're gonna put them in the oven on 350 for, like I said, I think an hour. We'll do it right now, and then if they need to be longer, if the cabbage is still like a little tough or something, I'm not really sure what to expect. I just want them to be good, that's all. So right now, I'm gonna put them in for an hour and I'll keep you posted. Good thing I read those instructions first. So we're gonna be putting tin foil on both of them. Okay guys, so now for the moment of truth. Let's see. You know what? They are really, really good. I'm super proud of myself. Now on a difficulty level, yes, this was a little bit difficult for me. Maybe because I'm not used to it. I didn't really know what I was doing, but that's the fun of it, right? So you got to try new things and see how it goes. So, I mean, yeah, I would definitely make them again, and maybe I'd have somebody help me, so maybe it would be easier. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you try this recipe at home. Mwah. Hey guys, if you're looking for a quick and easy snack, I'm gonna show you something that's like less than 10 minutes, and it's nutritious, delicious, and it's no bake, which is fantastic. Everything's organic, you can make it with your kids. It's a no bake vegan energy ball, but you don't have to tell them it's vegan. Okay, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna need for this recipe, and let's get started. For this recipe, you're going to need 1 cup of oatmeal, 2/3 cup of shredded coconut. I only had a 3/4 cup, so I put it in there, and we're just guessing that it's 2/3. Go with me, people. A 1/2 cup of 100% peanut butter. I'm using the smoothie today. You can use crunchy. This is just what I'm going with today. 1/3 cup of organic raw blue agave syrup. This is what's going to make it nice and sweet. I'm using a 1/2 cup of vegan chocolate chips and a 1/2 cup of hemp seeds and 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, and then I'm also going to be using a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Okay, so once you've got everything measured out, we're just going to put it in a bowl and stir it up. So we're putting in the oatmeal, the coconut. Like I said, you could use coconut flakes. I just had the shredded coconut, so that's what I'm going with today. It would be good with coconut flakes too, though, I guess. The peanut butter, like I said, you can use any kind of nut butter. Like, I mean, if you like almond butter or the crunchy peanut butter or cashew butter, whichever you prefer, anything would be fine. The 1/3 cup of organic agave nectar, that is going to give it its sweetness. A 1/2 cup of the vegan chocolate chips. You can put more in if you want. Hey, it's your recipe. Do what you want to do with it, right? 1/2 cup of the hemp seeds and a tablespoon of the chia seeds, and then I'm also going to put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then all we're gonna do is mix this together. I'm gonna try using a spoon, but I'm probably gonna end up just using my hands. So we're just gonna mix this mixture all together until it's all nice and evenly mixed. And then all we're gonna do is pop it in the fridge for, I recommend putting it in for an hour. You can put it in longer, but at least an hour, just to let it set a bit. And then once the hour is over, we are gonna take it and we're gonna either shape it into energy balls, or else you can also just put it down on parchment paper in a pan and cut it into energy bars, whichever you prefer. So here's the mixture, did pretty good. And we're just gonna pop it in the fridge for an hour. So see you in an hour, peeps. Okay, so I've let the mixture sit in the fridge for a little over an hour, and now it is good to go to shape into my energy balls, or like I said, if you want to put some parchment paper down and make them into energy squares, it's totally up to you. So I like them about this size, and then I'm just gonna place them in like some sort of Tupperware container, and then put a lid on it, and I mean, they're ready to go on the go when you just want a little burst of energy. And like I said, be creative. Substitute the chocolate chips for something else. You can put different types of nut butters. It's your recipe, it's your energy balls. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you guys all try it out at home. Mwah!